Like, what the fuck?
And we are live.
Now you have the switching. The Switch 2's coming out.
You know, that's fitting. Just Zora shouting "What the fuck" as we go live. That fits for what's going to happen today.
You guys miss it when I'm not there, because then you guys are like,
everybody's calm and quiet, and nobody says a goddamn thing.
Oh, sounds like I gotta change that then.
Welcome.
Okay.
To be fair, it's also been kind of like a fucked up, like somber situation these last couple of weeks.
And I don't know.
Don't worry,
we'll about.
We'll go back to buying Kalis the horse in as soon as we get back to a real
You guys are trying
state.
to get him laid so hard.
It makes me laugh.
Why do you want him to get laid so bad?
He's not making it easy. Because maybe if he does, he'll remove the stick from his ass.
He's a paladin. Nothing removes a stick from the ass.
Nothing removes
Thank you, Tam.
I mean,
is a prerequisite for being a paladin.
With Max?
I'm trying to get my guy laid.
I mean, no. Okay, to be fair, it depends on the paladin class or the paladin subclass that you are. Because some don't have that stick in their ass.
I think they all have the stick up their ass. They just react to it differently.
The Oathbreaker just lost the stick and is now searching for the stick again.
Because here's the thing, for me personally, I'm like, I want to play a super religious person. That would just be weird to me as a player. But I was like, but I can still roll with it to where he's still religious, but he's not in your face. Like, do you know our Lord and Savior, the Lawbreaker? Like, do you want to know about him? Let me tell you about him.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I really think about it.
Yeah.
Now that I really think about it, fucking Rojan did that all fucking season 1, where I felt like, okay, I got a handle of it, and he grabs it and throws it, and now I gotta go fucking fetch and get it. I come back, I'm like, okay, I got a handle on the situation. Almost, nope, there's chaos. There we go. And he just throws it again.
Sir, a lot of the chaos in campaign 1 was your fault.
And campaign 2.
Was it? Don't you blame me for... Okay, you're right, buddy. You're right. You're right.
Groods, you are the one player that I can always guarantee will bring the fucking chaos.
This is very true. Although, to be honest, a lot of us don't play
you're right.
super... I probably count on one hand how many of us are actually like super religious characters. And the earliest one I can think of is the Halloween one-shot we did a few years back with Fox's character.
Never again.
It was fun though.
It was fun.
It was a blast, but oh boy, that character was exhausting.
Probably not long-term campaign character, but fun for a one-shot.
Oh, I got an idea.
Hyperactive characters, you know.
Set me on fire.
Yeah, hey Elric, set me on fire. That's a classic. Oh, speaking of classics.
Oh god.
Fox, I am sorry I did not send this to you beforehand, but I added another tier onto Extra Life.
Oh
no.
What is
this tier?
$200 donation.
Oh.
For the Destroyer is what it's called. $200.
I'm sorry, what?
Anybody who donates $200 to Extra Life causes a party level equivalent boss fight to happen.
So you
well, there it goes.
Yeah, I was
guys,
hoping...
we need a pool $200 so we can make Tilt do something.
I was hoping for this because you did mention a while back that you were thinking about bringing the monster tier back.
Yep.
I'm glad we've got it back because that's a really fun tier.
Yeah.
So that season 2?
Season 2 had it, but season 2 had just a party level equivalent fight. This is a party level equivalent boss fight.
Do we get special rewards for winning?
If you win.
Nope.
Okay.
So who's donating $200?
So what I'm hearing is... I was gonna say so. What I'm hearing is we donate during Mass Effect Horizon and make Rojan be hoisted by his own petard.
Oh my god, a Thresher Maw just comes out of nowhere.
I'll 1v1 a Thresher Maw.
No, you'll die. You'll be eaten.
So?
Shepard.
The only time we fight Thresher Maws in that campaign is when Rojan's not there.
Yes.
Oh, that would be so mean if I did that without him. I think Rojan would legit be sad.
I mean, we've
would be
basically done
pissed.
it a couple times now.
You guys have like gotten into like the group versus a fucking kaiju fight like 3 times that I haven't been there.
And it was painful every time for Thelia.
Like the only quote unquote kaiju that I got to fight was the walking reactor.
Yeah.
No, I would never do that to you, especially when that's all you talk about in and out of character. I'm like, why would I be that awful to you? I would never. I respect you, Rojan.
It's become
Rojan.
the running gag.
You gotta be awful to him.
It's just like lower decks where Shaxx just wants to always jettison the warp core. Brockus just wants to fight a Thresher Maw.
It's kind of along the same level as Mel wanting to hit something with her rifle.
Exactly.
Or Wheatley hit anything.
Oh, but yeah, so $200 now on the table. I am working on a $500 donation tier as well.
Ooh.
Not entirely sure what that is going to entail, but I'm having some ideas.
Character.
I'm having some ideas. But because it's such like a high donation, it's got to be something special. So
a custom bag from Siva definitely needs to be added to that.
We need to talk to Siva if Siva could do that. But yeah, I will be down for more dice bags and whatnot.
I will buy them a t-shirt from the shop.
I don't know. I think the $500 is gonna like include like a ton of stuff.
Donate $500 and kill a character of your choice.
Oh my god, that's awful! No, instant death on a character.
It's
You're
like
awful.
we instantly hit the instantly hit the goal, and somebody just like pays enough to just like TPK an entire group.
Wait, so we kill a life to save a life? Is that what it is, Spiffy? We kill a life to save a life.
Correct.
Wait,
absolutely.
Does it kill the character and then basically two resurrections cast on them, so they come back as a slightly different bodied character? Now you have to play a new race as that character who died.
Awful.
You roll a new character. What are you talking about?
I want to somehow get the Freaky Friday thing back in here.
Yes.
Oh my god, I remembered that. Holy
I'm working on that. I'll work on that. Anyway, you could just have that sitting in the back of your mind for a while. As the last time we left off, was a bit of an emotional roller coaster for Asha, as a lot of what if I do this and do X, and a lot of theory crafting about sacrificing their own life for the possible greater good. Thankfully, Asha didn't have to sacrifice themselves, as they did the right thing, and they inserted the still pure chunk of the orange coalesced mana crystal into the like the larger shape of the crystal to sort of begin a healing process. And in that process, it destroyed the undead in Valanche, which allowed the chorus of 500 to absorb enough souls to become 500. And in response to that, they pretty much saved Asha's life, and the 500 souls entered the crystal. Entering the crystal, they sort of reversed what happened to the city itself. The individuals who were not yet completely turned and were stuck in that weird halfway between life and death slowly started to regain living features. For a while, their skin was a little pale, the eyes were still a little milked over, but they started rejoining the land of the living, eating again, sleeping again, just like taking on the basics of what everybody takes advantage of in like a normal everyday life. Food wasn't great. Everyone was still trying to process food once again, so very bland, very very light meals, to much of the disappointment of some of the group here.
Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice, soup with just pretty much broth. But you did learn that a large majority of the city had been lost due to the whole ordeal. Operating at a bit of a bare bones situation, opened up a bit of housing for purchase. Max ended up buying a house located near the front gate of Valanche. Max has a cozy 2-story house now. You had a bit of a housewarming party. Magical beer was made. But while all this was going on, Asha went through sort of a change as their robes began to take on a white, gold, and red color, giving her more of an official cleric of Herona look. Why do I hear myself?
Oh, brutes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, wait, why do I have an echo? Is that me?
Yeah, I got you up there a little bit. Sorry.
All good. After Max's party, all of you went to bed. Some of you stayed at Max's place. The rest of you stayed at Asha's place. And in the morning, you awoke to the sound of a very strong windstorm outside. And slowly but surely, as you all began to awaken, you had noticed that the walking city of Valanche had entered into the sandstorm itself. A small orange protective dome formed over the city, protecting the people of Valanche and the buildings itself from the destructive nature of the sandstorm. And every now and again, you would see claws, kind of like large claws, slam into the barrier as if something enormous was trying to get at the city. But thankfully, the chorus was protecting you. And as we pick up today, about 2 hours have passed since you've entered the sandstorm. Everybody seems to be a little on edge, as any progress in the city has sort of been halted, as everybody is standing outside just like gawking and pointing at things that are randomly appearing on the outside of the city. That winged beast still flying by every now and then. A tail smack into it, another claw. What looks to be like just a row of teeth trying to bite into it. But for the most part, it seems like everything barrier-wise is holding.
How high up are we right now from the ground?
You don't know.
Okay, let me rephrase that, because that's right, the dust storm. How high were we up from the ground before we hit the dust storm?
You could wager that the legs are anywhere from about 100 to 150 feet long.
Okay. Okay. Can I make a check to see anything that sticks out, whether it's like a large shadow or just any more of those claws or anything else?
Yeah, like you don't even have to like check. That thing is tailing you guys. Every now and then it just does a flyby and either slams into it or tries to attack the barrier. It becomes quite obvious to you that Valanche has upset something the moment it set foot into this dust storm.
Can I try to discern what it may be? Even if I don't know the creature, if I know if it's like a bird or a dragon or something?
Go ahead and give me a nature roll with disadvantage.
Oh. Can I even do nature?
Intelligence based, so
Look at me! I can do nature. Okay, I can do nature. Let's see how well I do nature though.
Disadvantage.
Oh, let's get the bad rolls
Can't
out.
do nature.
I got a 3 and a 4. That is not good.
Oofda.
It's a 7.
All you know is it's big, it can fly, and it has claws and a tail.
So you can do nature. Your dice just don't want you to do nature.
It could be a dragon for all I know.
It's a bird.
Kylus is actually on edge. He's probably been. I assume there's like a barrier or a border or wall or something that you can stand on that's on the perimeter.
There's not. The city itself is just like you've got the city, and then there's probably about a good 30 feet, and it's just a sheer edge.
Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, well, if that's the case, Kylus will be near the perimeter, but not close enough to where if they get bumped, he's just gonna go.
Kylus
for me.
Kylus can see though that orangish barrier seems to connect past the lip of the edge of the city and kind of connects down to the bottom underneath, kind of making sure instead of a dome you're encased in a full bubble.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. I think that's what he's gonna do then. He's gonna kind of keep an eye for that creature, and then every so often go in the front and see what we're approaching, if he even can see anything, and then kind of wander.
Beyond the barrier, all you see is just that violent winds, that violent sandstorm that you yourself have experienced firsthand. You know that even if you go in there unprotected, you can't even see 5 feet in front of you.
Which is why he's essentially doing, to anyone who's paying attention, it's actually pacing. He's what is identifies as pacing.
I think at some point during Kylus'
protected safe sand.
Some point during Kylus' pacing, Asha will probably bring out a little thermos of tea or something to Kylus, and Kylus, you have to have a little faith. I know it's nerve-wracking being in here like this, but wearing a hole in the city is not going to help the situation. Or hand him a cup of tea.
He'll take it, but he's very much on edge right now. He's like, yeah, we don't know what to expect in here, and it's a little nerve-wracking.
Whole situation's unprecedented. It's full of unknowns. Just have to take it as it comes. You can't control it, so.
Milas comes over to the two of you, and he's got what smells like a mug of coffee in his hand.
You can finally stomach the coffee now.
I'm testing it. I can only take so much of just plain water and weak tea. My body is now to the point of life to where I am now craving what I once enjoyed.
Those are all good signs.
You know, it's more violent than they said it would be.
The storm.
The storm. Initial reports that were given to me after when we first set out from Augur were from both Claude and Orn.
I wonder if it's because of what's gone on in the city. Gifted subs.
Maul's
just gifted 5 subs.
Oh, geez, that's expensive.
So sweet.
Thank you, Malls.
What is a sub equivalent? What is?
Was it $5.99 now? Is it $5.99
Yeah,
now?
I think $5.99.
Yeah, so that's $30.
$5.99.
So 6 times 5, 30.
$5.99 if it's on the mobile app.
I mean, if
No,
you're
it's $5.99 if you're on normal browser.
No,
Oh,
if
is
you're
it?
on normal browser,
Wow.
yeah.
if you're Canadian, then it's $7.99.
Oh Jesus! Damn
Malls, is you Canadian?
Quick, somebody do math on that.
She's close enough. She can be Canadian if
I
she
don't think
wants to
she's
be.
Canadian.
And
I don't
auto
think she's
success in a
Canadian.
health pot.
I mean, at that point, then you have to convert it back into USD, and it'll end up about the same anyway.
Okay, so then just an auto success to either a
Oh,
player or.
Well, she can choose to break it up too.
Yep.
Look. I'm sorry, Minnesotan is essentially Canada because if everyone says like, "Oh, don't you know?" It sounds exactly like, "I'll help you, eh?"
Zora, I'm going to stop you there.
It's the same.
No,
And
you're
I
not.
only say that because I was from Minnesota for about 7 or 8 years.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to be honest with you. The northern part,
That's
which
exactly
is
what
the
she's
northern
doing.
range section, yes.
So
That being
yeah,
said, Malls,
Malls,
$30 on the life.
You've got $30
Yes.
to do what you would like to this party.
Not North Dakota.
You betcha.
You betcha, eh? But that's like middle Canada-ish. That
Hockey's
speaks. No, it's
weekend
definitely not all
boot, eh?
Canada.
And while that is while Malls is deciding, it's like, yes, from the last two cities, the storm didn't sound this violent. Maybe it's because we're going in deeper, maybe?
Going in deeper, or we, piss someone off by fixing that crystal.
No, it's been this violent. Maybe it's more violent further in, but even just half a mile in, it's violent.
I also wonder if it goes through weather periods, so maybe it could be more violent because there's a quote-unquote storm.
Advantage to the DM, advantage to a player, and 1 health potion.
What player, Malls? You have to pick the player.
Players, because it's advantage, and okay, Fox gets advantage, and there's a health.
Thank you.
And Zoro gets the health potion.
We're never seeing that again. It's gone
You have
forever.
$5 more, Malls.
Fight.
You had $30 to spend. You spent 25. So.
No, she said she had a discount that she got, so she's paid for 5 subs for 25.
I missed that.
Right.
And it appears we've pissed something off entering in there. Which leads me to my next question, Asha.
Yes.
I know you and your friends are on what I gather to be a bit of a timetable. You seem to have individuals who are coming after you or looking for you at the moment.
Yes, I'm hoping they're outside this barrier at this moment, not in the city.
They wouldn't have been able to get in the city. I would have felt them when they walked in when I was still in that crystal.
That's good news.
The only ones that are accounted for life sign wise were you, your friends, and my father. But when Valanche does settle, we're going to be operating at a skeleton crew for a while. We don't have many able body to defend the city from whatever may be upset that we've just claimed this land as home. And we're going to need experienced people to go out and map the surrounding area. You've already done so much for the city, but I was hoping that you and your friends could possibly stay around for a bit. Just give us a bit of a... give the people a bit of relaxation, knowing that there's at least experienced individuals here that can aid us if need be. Until we can get more people and supplies from Augur.
I have no issue doing that, but I'd have to bring it up to the group. I don't speak for all of them, and they've always done me a great service by pushing this far.
I don't see it taking more than a month, 2 at the most. Just as soon as we settle down, I can get a message out to Augur. I can give them a full situational reports, and the Empress can begin sending out spare bodies, supplies.
The concern I have with that, though, is being so deep inside the dust storm, and clearly there's something stalking us. We don't even know if that's the only thing, and to even navigate through here is quite awful. Not without proper equipment, of course, but
oh, it is quite terrifying given our current situation.
So even just traveling here is quite dangerous. Do you have perhaps a permanent teleportation circle set up for quicker travel? Because I fear that many people will get lost or killed just trying to reach you.
Well, once
same with the other way around, your own people coming out as well.
Once we settle down, or once the city settles, the dust storm will be pushed away a bit away from the city and a little further out. So the dust storm should not necessarily be an issue. Entities that were in the storm, that's another problem in of itself. Unfortunately, no, we do not have a teleportation circle. We were hoping that was one of the first things that on the list of acquiring once the city settles, but we lost technically our head mage, the one that would have been able to create it. So we are, for the most part, we are crippled. We have the ability to work one of the farms, and we have food to last us until we can get more people out here. But you can see where we're lacking on the defensive end of things.
Yeah.
Well, as it comes to, I know we have to send a full report in either way, but for expedience purposes, if there's anything you'd like me to magically message to anyone, I can do that back in Augur.
I was gonna say wrong character. I'm like, I can do the sending no, I'm different character.
No, I cannot.
I'm different. No.
I'm not a goblin this time.
I'm not a goblin, nor am I a tree, so I can't do anything.
Like, as soon as the dust storm settles after we make landfall, I can use the mirror in my office to communicate directly with the Empress.
Oh, that will be handy then.
I know you have I know you have access to something like the sending spell or a message spell, but they're limited in their words, and what I have to report is probably going to be about an hour or two conversation.
Understandable. I did let them know that the city was on the move again before we entered the storm. I wasn't sure how the storm would match with the magics. So at least they're aware that Augur is moving again. Or that Blanche is moving again.
Unfortunately, none of us know how magics interact. Different reports from different people. I'm wondering if it's depending on how deep into the sandstorm we technically would be if it still existed.
Maybe. At least once the city is settled, things should operate a little more normally.
The chorus spoke to me earlier today. They're quite certain they found a... They say they're quite certain that they have found a place that would be the most efficient for our city to set down in. I'm trusting the settling of the city to them, as they seem to be in full control.
Well, they have not led me astray in any of the questions I've asked them thus far. And always forthright in the information they have, so I'd put faith in them.
I know I'm getting reports of annoyance from some of the people who are situated around the Crystal Square, but they assure me the singing is necessary to keep the dome up.
I'm pretty sure that once the city is settled, the chorus won't reside in the crystal anymore. I don't know for sure, but I think the citizens can handle a few days.
Mm-hmm.
They can always take temporary shelter away from the center for time being.
On the bright side, the tavern is once again being used for housing, so at least the cobwebs and everything are being cleaned up in there while we wait to make landfall.
I know the head of your healing hall was lost in all this as well. Does anyone need any help in that aspect, or is it all just recovering normally?
Everyone seems to be recovering normally, no sickness aside from some people getting a little anxious and eating something they necessarily can't handle, but
it's bound to happen.
It's bound to, I can't blame them. Do you know how boring chicken broth, soup, and water is?
I've heard it from plenty of the patients.
Yes.
In this economy?
The moment we can, the moment the city is thriving, I am definitely hosting probably a cook-off.
We'll have to return for that. I know one of our party members would love to participate.
But the most you can do to help us now would be to stay here for the time being. Oversee the city's safety. Help where you can.
Like I said, I'll bring it up to the group. I don't speak for them. I can ask. I will have to ask, however, because I know it will come up in the meeting. Will there be payment for some of the members for this?
I will make sure that everyone is well compensated for their assistance. I can't expect any of you to work for free. You'll be provided food and housing here. Temporary housing unless people wish to make a purchase, and then that home could be theirs permanently. But for the time being, you will all be given a home, food, shelter. You'll be active members of the community.
We also have to figure out what's happening with the people who are hunting us. I don't know how quickly they'll find us once we settle, or even if they're able to transverse this sandstorm as it is. I'm unsure.
I could send word to the Empress of that as well. I'm pretty sure that she doesn't like the fact that there are active bounty hunters after our citizens.
Very powerful.
Any assistance we can get on that matter would be helpful. It's an unfortunate situation.
Well, unfortunate maybe, but I don't think you'll have to worry about them out here. Even if they were to try to follow, they would be weeks on the road before they got to us.
Let us hope so, because the last time they caught up to us wasn't pleasing.
Who knows, maybe one of the agitated inhabitants of the sandstorm will deal with them for you.
As much as I want to put my hope in that, they are from the astral plane. They can probably handle a lot of things here.
We will see. But I'll leave you to whatever it is you are doing. Good morning to both of you, and thank you for considering the offer. And he says that he walks away and just taking like very deep drinks of his coffee. You're muted.
I'm more watching for a minute, see if he coughs or sputters after taking a drink.
There's a moment that, like, after like the second big drink, he stops for a moment and just like holding the cup with both hands and just like looks up at the sky and just lets out like a very happy sigh as he just continues on his way.
Sitcom moment.
Yep.
Oh, we should probably get back and inform the others, I suppose.
At least it's something to do, other than pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll find something to channel that nervous energy.
Yeah, that would actually be nice. I need a distraction.
Not that kind of distraction, Max. We've already confirmed there's no horse left.
Sexual nature.
Yeah, the brothel is currently inactive.
Yeah, I was like, there's like 10 people here.
Yeah. Not a lot.
I've got slim pickings.
Yeah, we'll probably try and collect the group members. Asha will go by Max's house and ask him to come by. So they had a job offer. That's how she'll phrase it to him.
Oh, is this an actual job offer, or is this more of your charity?
Don't know if I'd call it charity.
Mm-hmm.
I simply try to do the right thing. However, I did ask, and yes, this would be a paid job.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, all right then. I suppose I can't complain.
Butthurt.
Look,
Someone who's used to getting paid for jobs doing stuff for free. You can't blame them, right?
Yeah.
You're right.
We
but
just
it's still
the whole
great,
city
though.
and we didn't get paid a cent.
Yeah, I mean, you all have done some like a ton of stuff for free.
Sorry, guys.
Look,
not sorry.
Yeah. Wow. Look, Niles in the same boat on Thursday. We're like, we keep doing this shit people said they were gonna pay us for, and then no one fucking pays us. Where's my money?
On that same shit, though.
Yeah, all of us are like, where's our fucking money?
We're not letting it go. Pay us.
Yeah, that's it. We just have to start breaking kneecaps.
Oh, we're there on Thursday, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, on Thursday we will break kneecaps.
I want a
We're
finger.
about ready to fight a dragon.
I want a finger.
Niall will get that finger.
She's patient.
She will. She's gonna play the long game. She's an elf. She's got all the time.
Fucking Rocket Raccoon. I'm gonna get that arm.
I gotta get that arm.
Give me that arm. I got a plan for it.
I mean, he does eventually get the arm.
He does.
He does.
I think he gets it in the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebula gives Rocket Bucky's arm for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny as hell.
Huh.
So once I have everyone gathered up, Asha will probably have set out tea and snacks and then tell everyone about the job offer we received. So I did confirm that it would be paid. Housing would be paid for. You'd have meals paid for. And he's hoping to speak to the Empress about our bounty hunting problem. But at least, because they were not in the city when it picked up and started walking, we have a great amount of distance between us and them for now.
Alright, that works. It's not like we can really go anywhere anyway.
I mean, once the city drops, we're welcome to leave if we wanted to. We'd have to make our own path out, but the city is in dire need of help. They don't have much in the way of a city guard or anything else yet.
I mean, for one, I still want to assist you on this, but at the same time, I'd be lying if I said that between my past interests here and my current interests regarding the Efreet that we encountered, I definitely want to know more of what's going on as well.
I'm sure Milas would welcome a conversation with you about it. I'm sure he'll enjoy having someone to talk to about his experience as well. get that off of his chest.
Well, when he was still undead, said he didn't have many conversations, so I don't know if he'll be able to elaborate more, but you never know. Either way, I'm here to help.
Karsha, are you willing to stay and help? Who may be muted?
No, not muted. I'm just trying to. She's doing something kind of stupid right now, not really paying attention.
What is she doing?
So you know how we're in a desert, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, technically you're in the sandstorm right now, but yeah.
Yes. So I don't know how I'm trying to kind of do this, but I kind of am. So I'm using Mold Earth, which is a cantrip. So instead of using a bunch of spell slots, she's using that to kind of be a fucking sand shark right now. She's in the ground.
You can't do that because you're technically not in the sandstorm. You're in the city.
Or floating.
She's doing it in the ground.
The city is 150 feet off the ground.
Oh, it's off the fucking ground.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
city's
yeah.
walking itself. Yeah.
I think it's the ground then right now.
We're about
Like,
120
are we just
to 100
city.
So, in order to do
what
that,
are we walking on?
So in order to do that, you would be outside Asha's house, just like mold earthing the ground around her house and just sand sharking.
Much. You just see a fin. That's it. Just going around the group.
Well, when I was gathering the group, Asha would have used the sending spell to tell Karsha to come inside. Group meeting.
Okay.
So
now, what was your question?
If you're willing to stay with the city for a little while to help them, we'll be doing odd jobs for them, mostly protection.
Can I kill things?
Yeah, there'll be plenty of things.
Can I eat
I'm
them?
sure. Maybe.
Can I
Wasn't a
take their
question I
stuff?
should have asked. The dead has little use for their own stuff, but
Well, the dead came back, so
I mean, we're not ransacking houses. If that's
I'm
what
not
you
saying here.
We're not pillaging.
I'm not sure what kind
we-
of jobs we'll be doing exactly, but they'll be using us to protect the city. So, if one of these inhabitants of the desert that appear after the city settles has stuff on them, I'm sure you're welcome to it.
I'm buying a brothel, and I'm gonna have people work for it.
Well, I'm not sure how many of the current citizens will work in the brothel, but I'm sure there will be some eventually. But you might have to talk to Miles about the purchase of the building. Or the renting,
I
or
can make
how
that
all that
work.
works.
Why, just out of curiosity, do you want to own a brothel?
Honest, good working people.
And a fuck ton of money.
Fair.
Exactly.
Makes a good retirement. Sylvia,
I was just wondering.
are you good with that arrangement?
I can make that work. Yeah.
If this is what you require of me, then it shall be done.
Don't require it. It's just more of a favor. In the
Right.
future, you may ask me of one as well.
If this is what you request of me, then it shall be done.
I appreciate that, Sylvia.
Of course.
Sylvia, look at me.
Hi.
Look at me. Okay.
Hey, yeah, I'm looking.
All right. Okay. 2 words. Are you ready for this? Okay.
Maybe.
Think for yourself.
I think we might speak different languages.
No, and Aaron, it's 2.
I am trying.
Good girl.
Small steps. It's okay. You're doing great. Tokumi? I've also heard word that they're going to hold a cook-off as soon as everyone can actually eat food.
If there's a cook-off, I'll definitely stay for that.
Oh. I will let Miles know later today. Or, Kailis, if you plan on talking to him, you can just let him know for us.
Did you want me to send word to him?
No, I can send word. I was just saying if you were planning on having a conversation with him anyway.
Oh, I mean, again, I don't mind talking to him, but I'm in no rush right now. But either way, I'm okay if you need me to deliver the message.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess with that said, we know what we're doing next. Hopefully we can get some assistance with these banner hunters. Do not want another morning like the other morning.
Oh, you mean the morning where we all woke up dead? Yeah. Definitely do not want that to happen again.
I mean, not all of us were dead, but it was bad enough.
I think at that point, Kailis will walk out to deliver the message to Miles.
You're gonna send a message to Miles?
No, I'm walking over.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
using my good old feet.
You do it the old-fashioned way.
I thought you
The
didn't have message.
old-fashioned way.
Okay.
I do with my mouth when I walk with my feet.
It doesn't take you too long to find him, as he's still walking around the city, making, like, trying to put everybody's nerves at ease, trying to assure them that the dome is going to hold.
Yeah, okay. He will approach him and say, excuse me, Miles, but we did consult with our group, and we will all be more than happy to help you all until more help is on the way.
He smiles and lets out a very happy sigh. He's like, that is wonderful news. I thank you, and I thank your friends for everything that you have done for us and everything you are willing to do for us.
Of course.
I will make sure that everyone has their lodging by tonight. So I just need to stop by the office, make sure that paperwork is ready, and I can get you some keys. That way poor Asha can have her house to herself again and not have 6-7 people in there.
Yeah. We don't want to overwhelm her, of course, and we already are aware that I almost said Spiffy. Max has his own house. Wrong character. That's a person. Has his own place, and definitely don't want to overwhelm him as well. Curiosity. I'm sure I've seen it at some point walking around. You wouldn't happen to have a temple of Herona here, would you?
We have an abandoned temple at the moment. Unfortunately, our healers, clergy, everything of that sort have perished in the previous ordeal. There is a temple, rather small, but
if it's not too much trouble, could I perhaps have lodgings near the temple?
Of course, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you would wish, I can give you lodgings in the temple.
Actually, yeah, if that's not too much trouble, I actually would like that.
It could be done.
I appreciate it. I don't know if anyone else is going to have specifics. Actually, odd question. I know a lot of the buildings here are empty from the unfortunate circumstances. I know sometimes brothels will have living quarters on the top level. You wouldn't happen to have one for one of our companions to perhaps live in?
You have a companion that would wish to live in the brothel?
I think she wants to eventually purchase it. She'll have to talk to you about it, but I feel like that would be a good start for her to get to know the establishment.
No, the establishment is currently inoperable, but
she has plans for that.
The top
so
floor,
I'm told.
The top floor, as you say, is for the owner operator. So I can most definitely set your friend up in there if they wish.
You know what? I think that would be nice. I think it'd be a nice little surprise for her. Everyone else, I kind of have ideas for them, but to be honest, I kind of want them to choose because I don't know their living preferences, to be honest. Technically, I don't know hers either, but she mentioned a brothel, and I thought that was a start. So there you go. I do appreciate it. Thank you. And he'll give a little soldier-esque salute as shake your head at me. Just, the classic, like, and join the others.
Okay.
You don't see it, but in the background, you see Karsha just kind of doing that whole lean out of a door where you're like, I hear a brothel.
Did somebody say brothel?
I heard brothel.
Not like super close, but they're like 100 feet away, but they have really good hearing somehow. And they're like, you say that? Okay.
You want to get succubi? Because that's how you get succubi.
Yeah, right? So when he comes back, he was just like, one, he is very thankful for all of us assisting him, assisting the city with this task. He's going to, in the very near future, get us all set up with housing, so he's going to come with us with keys. Karsha, I put in a special request for you. You're going to be living in the owner's living quarters in a brothel that you may own one day, maybe. I don't know.
Awesome, and you're all invited to Sand in My Pants, also known as Simp.
Making note to burn that building down.
Why is that so appropriate?
Higher.
Why is that so appropriate?
On so many levels.
Oh my god. I have a joke I could make, but I'm not gonna do it on stream.
Send it to me.
You'll be a coward.
It's from, it's not Dave and Buster's. What's it's, crap, I forgot the Vegas thing. Anyway, right. So I don't know if you all want to have special requests. He seems to be very accommodating. Otherwise, that was the only one I could think of off the top of my head of what they may want. But I felt like maybe you all wanted to maybe choose where you go, or you don't care. I didn't want to assume.
You're still welcome to stay here. Doesn't bother me at all.
I'm sure if you want the opportunity, Sylvia, to have your own space, if you want, you could have your own home.
I wouldn't know what to do with it.
That's the joy of having. No one does it first. We all just figure it out as we go. Slowly accumulate items and things until we have way too much.
Your first apartment. Finding a couch in the alleyway going, I could use that. It's free.
Why don't you do this? If you get your own place, it doesn't mean you have to stay there. You're still welcome to stay with us. But it's there as an option.
Very true.
I don't know. It sounds like too much space for me. I don't have things, so I just need a bed.
When you have space, you tend to accumulate things.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
That's fair. If you're not ready, it's okay. You're still welcome here. I'm sure Gaius wouldn't mind if you stayed with him either.
No, not at all. I don't think you'll like where I'm going, but that does not mean you're not invited, of course.
Well, where are you going? I am used to living with you.
Well, I, for personal reasons, wanted to be in the Temple of Herona.
I'll stay here.
A wonderful place to stay. But it's almost like we switched what we're doing. You know, back in Augur, you have the apartment and I stay in the temple.
Wait.
I was going to go by the temple later today. I know that the main healer is gone. I'm not sure if they have anyone left, but I want to at least try and tidy the place up. Something to do. Busy the hands.
He did make it known that it was completely abandoned because, well, the original clerics and healers perished.
How much time before this city stops?
I think we have about 2 more days. Give or take. I mean, we could always go talk to the chorus and see where their spot is.
We never did track down another legendary beast, did we?
Not yet.
It was on the list.
Not for free, no.
Something tells me we might encounter one once the city settles. I mean, we don't know what's in the storm, and once the storm is pushed back, we're just left with all the beasts that are here.
Maybe a unique new creature here. Trying to, like, help Max out a little bit. Something new and shiny.
What about this, Sylvia? I don't have to go to the temple right away. We could always go in to see if there's anything we can purchase off any of the individuals that are still here, and maybe we'll find a craft you can work on.
I'm sure I can find something to fill my time. I do have several things that I can work on myself. If you're going to the temple, I'll just find a quiet spot to do that, I suppose.
All right. I'm probably not setting out for another hour. I do need to figure out what's going on with the necklace. I still have the necklace from when the chorus was in it, but it's changed somehow, and I need to figure out what it's doing.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit uneasy about that whole thing. Like, I understand the chorus is in the crystal now, but you kind of insinuated that they're not going to be in there forever. What happens when they come out?
Not sure. They said they were going to... What they were always looking for was a place of peace, a place of rest, and it sounds like they found it.
In the dust storm?
I always envisioned it to be more similar to where most souls go when we pass on. To at least those of us who are pious, we tend to go into the realm of our god of choosing. I think they just found a realm of their own.
A realm of annoying all the citizens here.
Necessary evil for a short period of time. It sounds like this is their last thing they're going to do before they move on to that. I mean, I don't know for sure. They didn't tell me exactly, but that's the gist. That's what I believe.
I'll bring the steak and garlic.
They don't seem to have any ill intentions. As they didn't even have to stop and go into the crystal to try and save the city, but they did.
True, they did seem quite keen on helping you, so that's a good thing.
I think that right there makes them worthy of my faith, that they will, in their next endeavor, do something great.
I suppose they have at the very least earned a chance to do whatever it is they're gonna do after this.
Gilly, I have a question.
Yes.
So your character is a woman of the cloth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does she have like a form of like rosary on her?
I mean, she has symbols. She does have a holy symbol, and she has symbols of Herona all over her armor and shield and stuff.
Okay, I just wanted to know that just for my mind.
Yep. Oh yeah, she has it pretty much anywhere she can fathomably put it without being overbearing.
I know we put it on the artwork of showing your pendant, but I remember you didn't want it like obnoxiously all over or anything like that.
No,
although you do have a cloak now with one. With
yeah, I now have a giant cloak with one.
Upon itself.
It's on the shield, you know, it's not like it's hidden, but it is not obnoxious. It's not as any face as Kylus's.
Just got the one on the chest plate that represents who you fight for. Just the typical knight sort of thing. That's it. He doesn't have anything else. Although his blade.
Yeah, you're religious.
His blade does have it.
Not that I'm biased or anything, but Herona and her symbol are both very pretty, so.
They are.
So.
Biased son of a bitch.
And all of my clothing got changed.
Kind of the creator.
Last episode to the white, red, gold color scheme, so.
Yeah. As everybody is discussing things, hour or two passes by and Milas comes by. For those of you who do not have homes, and he provides each of you a piece of paper explaining where it's at and the key to the home. So, as long as you stay here, as long as you help the city, you have access to these homes. If you wish to purchase these homes at a later time, you are more than willing. But
how much does a home go for?
What did I say? 200 gold?
Mm-hmm. I thought you said 100.
It was 200 for what did I get? A 2-bedroom?
Like a 2-story.
Yeah.
Oh. Good to know. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
I would honestly suggest that all of you get an early night's sleep. From the chorus, we are going to be touching down early tomorrow.
Oh, that's good to know.
I have some last minute preparations that I need to make myself. But again, for me and everyone in the city, thank you.
Of course.
He gives a like a little bow and he leaves. So, with the final night ahead of you all, is there anything that you wish to do with your evening?
Nothing that requires any rolls or anything. Sylvia is going to be working on some keysmith stuff that's granted by the class itself, but for flavor, she's taking time to actually construct it.
Okay.
Since she doesn't have really anything else to do at the moment.
Asha will spend some time with the new necklace that she got after the chorus vacated it, just to try and understand what it is.
Do you spend an hour?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, what you have on your neck now is no longer the chorus of 500. It is the light of Herona. This necklace can act as your holy symbol. Unlike the chorus that would eat radiant energy, this necklace emboldens radiant energy. Anytime a radiant spell causes damage or heals life, you can tack on, what was it? You can tack on 10 HP plus half your level. Now this is for this is both damage and healing spells, as long as they are a radiant component. This can be used once a day, and it recharges within 8 hours of sunlight, 8 hours of direct contact with the sunlight. Speaking of sunlight, you can also use this as a central focus for the light spell, just in case you're going into any sort of dark areas.
Okay. Awesome.
Give me a second. I just need to check your character sheet for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Asha.
Hey, you guys, all that radiant damage I was stealing from you guys? It's finally worth it.
Good, I'm gonna start using my radiant spells again.
When all I have is fucking radiant spells, stop stealing my radiant spells.
But you know what? It helped me heal poor Sylvia multiple times, okay?
It did. It did. I don't hate that, but still I was like, damn it.
Another once a day effect that is granted to you at the moment is a free upcast of a spell by 1 level.
Nice.
By 1 level with it, I'm assuming that's within what I can cast, right?
Yes. So it's just like an uptick.
Yep.
Like cure wounds, you would be able to just like cast it as like a level 2 spell or whatever.
Yep. Or take a level 2 to level 3, but I can't take level 3 to level 4 yet.
Yeah. No, actually you can.
Oh.
If you have a level 3 spell that allows you to kick it up to level 4, you can use that free cast to kick it up to a 4th level spell.
Oh, okay.
That is all that is available to you at this moment. More will unlock at level 10.
Take that, Lathander.
Wow. Lathander just catching strays for no reason.
Dude, he's a chill bro, man. He's chill. He's super chill.
That's my equivalent of take that, depression.
Look, Lathander's just probably sitting over there going, that's really cool.
Yeah, he's like, that's cool, bro. Yeah.
And then shots are fired, and he's like, what the fuck?
Lathander's not sitting anywhere doing anything. We kicked him out of our world.
You replaced him with someone new.
No, we didn't kick him out. We just...
We replaced him. He was let go.
He was... We no longer require your services at this company.
We moved in another direction.
This world is moving in a different direction. We're gonna have to,
Yeah, and he's like,
let you go.
Peace out. I'm heading back to Fey Realm.
We found better candidates for your position.
It's not that you're bad. They just have more experience.
I don't know. I think the Fey would disagree about somebody being better at that position, seeing as how the Feywild or the Fey Realm itself is now sealed.
It's not.
Well, they're not here now, are they?
Not that he was a better candidate. It's that he had less experience, so we could pay him less.
I like that.
Not wrong.
So, anyone else doing anything before the day ends and the next day begins?
I'm assuming I have more than one room in my house, given the way it was described. So I'm probably going to set Sylvia up with like a permanent room to call her own.
You have a guest room.
Yeah. So that's going to become Sylvia's room. She's going to kind of allow Sylvia to make it her own. If there's a workbench in the house anywhere, she'll probably drug it in there for Sylvia, so she has a workbench in her room.
And she immediately disassembles all her weapons and lays the bits everywhere.
And reassembles.
And then never touches them again.
Yep.
Like 90% of my projects.
Sylvia, you can use this room as it is. It's your own. Do what you want with it.
Thank you.
It's not too much space, but it's
that.
enough for you to grow into.
I don't require very much space. No, thank you.
If there's anything you need, just let me know. Or if we're out and about and you see something you want to hang on the wall, anything like that, just let me know.
And likewise, if you require anything, and at any time, I'll provide it if I can.
You've already done more than I could ever ask for, and I appreciate that.
As have you.
11 also a chance to go through what they're going to, but Asho still wants to have a conversation with Kylus later tonight.
I got nothing. The city is so fucking boring right now.
Okay.
Do you want another
There's no
bolstering brewer?
entertainment.
Nah.
Going
We'll go
once.
the early morning.
Just street sharking my way around town.
Okay. All right, two of you go ahead and have your conversation.
Yeah, once the city settles, I know I did that ritual and all to help with that curse that I was under, and I'm just not sure exactly what the after effects are. I mean, and she kind of pulls up her sleeve a little bit and exposes one of the scaly patches, because there were some physical changes, but I'm really not sure what the long-term effects are going to be. So if I start acting weird, please, can I count on you to help with that?
Of course. Do you feel like the ritual may have altered you? And I don't necessarily mean altered physically or mentally, but like maybe perhaps it wasn't as successful as you would have liked, and went with a different outcome, and that's what you're worried about?
I wasn't ever really sure what the outcome was going to be of that ritual, so it's hard to say. I don't feel like it was a bad outcome, but I don't know what that means at the same time. I mean, nothing's happened so far, but I'm just concerned. With physical changes, that usually means something else has changed, so...
Well, I may know a thing or two about that. If you'd like, I don't want to make it sound so demeaning as a side project, but could perhaps figure out what is wrong to at least prepare, or at least gain more information, especially with the ritual that you used and whatnot, and perhaps go from there. That way we can at least find out what we can expect, or at least prepare for something. If that's all right with you, of course.
It's probably a wise decision.
But I'll keep an eye out. Know where I'm going to be living now, so feel free to, call me over if you need me, or stop by. Either way, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I mean, I just get the feeling that something's changed. I just can't put my finger on what it is. And maybe it is just physical. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but with everything going on, I figured it's safer to be it's best to be on the safer side.
Nothing wrong with that. Trying to see if maybe I have a spell that would work too, but probably not. can I do some sort of check to see what these scales are, maybe? Or what transformation she might be undergoing?
Trying to think.
Yes,
I
like
don't think you would.
Area.
I don't think you would know what a dinosaur is.
I mean, they saw Asha transform into a Triceratops when they first got cursed.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Asha transformed into like some weird quasi giant lizard.
I'm a boy. I read dinosaur books.
I can take it.
We don't know how old this guy is, but he is also an elf, so never mind.
I'm not an elf. I have pointed ears like all genies do. Thank you. I'm a sucker for pointy ears. Yeah, I guess. You know what? I feel like maybe to help us with this project a little bit, we should get Max involved because he's kind of our creature expert. He may be able to help a bit more or come up with ideas to figure out if anything's going on. But if we can't figure anything out, then, you know, if I see a change in you, whether it's physical or attitude, I'll let you know.
Appreciated. I mean, I don't mind roping Max in. I just didn't want to put more burden on him since he's seems to have taken on the burden of watching out for you. Watching over you, I think. He was first to jump into action to try and calm you down when you were not acting yourself.
Which I actually do need to talk to him about that. I greatly appreciated that. I do feel like if I am ever a danger to the group to... I don't know if it'll actually work, but knock me out. But if that means, you know, making me bleed to make that happen, I've taken on worse. I won't have any ill will towards you guys for doing that.
I'm just glad we were able to break you out of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to... My will was going to be strong enough to overpower his. It's a gamble.
Nothing I hate more than not being in control. But to be honest, that was really... Well, technically the first time, I guess. At least to sort of black out like that. I don't know. It's, Can I tell you something about one of the reasons why I'm so uneasy being here?
Of course.
Well, this is actually where I died. Where I stumbled into and met that creature, not knowing what it was. He's the one that revived me. Trickery, of course, but yeah, it was within the dust storm.
You unfortunately made a deal that was not what you thought it was.
It was a deal with... Oh, I knew I was making it. I just thought I was making it with someone else.
It's unfortunate that happened to you. And maybe that's something we can one day... I mean, I think taking this out of his plans is the first good step. Maybe one day we can release his control over you as well. We now know it can be done. We did it here.
Very true. I'm hoping it'll undo what happened a few years back and hopefully make me whole again. Because every year I just feel a little piece of me slipping and it's not a good feeling. It's very minor, nothing bad right now, but sometimes there's little pieces of memory I just suddenly don't remember anymore.
Yeah. That is terribly unfortunate.
Again, there's little things right now. Nothing very important, but I'm afraid if it goes on for too long, I'll lose more and more of it. But we'll see as time goes on.
We could also always keep an eye out for I've heard some wizards, they have an ability to extract memories and basically set them into things for you.
You mean like copies of it?
Yeah, essentially. It's rare, but if we ever find someone with that ability, it could help. In the meantime.
That actually may not be a bad idea. I'll have to look into it at some point. But I appreciate it. We'll look out for each other then, and I do admire and appreciate that Max did that for me.
It's very brave of him to step in like that. Especially with you wielding your blade as you were.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he may have slightly enjoyed it. I'm not sure. I feel like he kind of liked it.
This is Max we're talking about. I think he enjoys using his skills to the most.
Well, then I appreciate that I can be perhaps a challenge to him, to his skills. I don't know. But yeah, so I do appreciate it.
I'm glad it didn't come down to knocking you out. And we got you back.
Well, I'll tell you right now, as I told Max, if it gets to the point where I'm starting to shed my companion's blood, either take me out or put me out. Because I would rather not attack people I care about.
I can understand the sentiment, but I hope it never comes to that.
Like, don't give up on me, like, straight away. Like, don't, like...
Oh, you know me, I would never do that.
Thank you.
Mostly because your life is just as precious as anyone else's. Even if you don't see it that way all the time.
Just, not to sound like a cliche, but I'm one of those weirdos where I just think of others before myself. Not that, there's plenty of people like that in the world, but I just don't prioritize me, I guess. That's why you see where I live. Not a lot.
You saw what I was willing to do for a city, so can't criticize you. Don't really think I have a leg to stand on in that department.
Yeah, thank you for still being here, by the way.
As I told Sylvia, sacrifice myself was not my first choice, but it was something I was willing to do in the end.
Which I admire, but I'm very thankful we found an alternative. See what that necklace has in store. What they plan to do once they're done here.
We'll have to wait and see.
Mm.
I found myself a little excited, not to lie.
Well, so far so good. So can't really distrust the situation.
The fact that they're even helping was not required of them. They could have moved on to what they're calling their salvation right away, and they chose to stay here and do this for us.
Very true.
And for that, I'll be forever grateful, because even if we got the city moving again, and we'd still need someone to make that sacrifice in order to set down. Not to mention we don't have the manpower to set the crystals on the legs, and I don't think the city would settle. I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah.
At the very least, we would have had to march all the way back to Augur to pick up people to come back up here. Which is just more of a risk.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. And, I wanted to ask real quick, just out of curiosity, where did Sylvia decide to stay?
She's going to take up the guest room in my house. I told her to use it as freely as she wants, as if it's her own room. It's at least a step in the right direction.
True. I mean, she had a room at my place too, but she needs to be able to be on her own, you know? I want that for her.
She'll get there one day. Small steps.
Of course. I'm just glad she's with someone, especially you, so.
And you're always welcome to come stay at the house whenever you want as well. I know you prefer your space, but I don't think you're getting out of breakfasts once a week. It's still happening. Whether I have to drag you there myself or not.
I still very much enjoy your breakfasts. Thank you.
There was a time where you tried to tell me to go away. Every time.
It felt weird having people in my place. Especially cooking. Not used to people cooking.
Well, we can't leave you to do the cooking. I think Took-Me might blow a gasket if she saw you try and cook.
Nothing wrong with having oatmeal every morning.
No, I can't even believe you call that oatmeal. Closer to gruel.
I had a little milk to it to cream it up a little.
And then you cook it into a mush.
It's not expired.
You cooked it to a mush.
It's good mushed. Why do you think I eat so much mashed potatoes?
Are you just opposed to using your teeth? Is that the problem?
It's easier to go down if I'm in a hurry.
Oh. Just don't let Took-Me hear that.
Yeah, no, we're not telling her that. No. Alright.
Get some good rest. Sounds like it'll be an eventful morning.
You as well.
Thank you.
We'll see you all in the morning. Good night, Asha.
Good night, Kaitis.
So with that, everyone settles down for the night. And before we get into the next part of our show here, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break so we can get up, stretch our legs, freshen up our drinks, all that fun stuff. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. And we are back.
Hi.
No, we're not. It's the whole role play.
So
This music's pretty.
this is what you all.
Sirenscape is being stupid.
Once again, everyone is, well, if you've experienced before, but the voice of the chorus begins to boom throughout the entirety of the city. Early in the morning, 5 o'clock.
And I cast silence. Just kidding.
Where's the snooze?
And as
Oh God.
as the chorus begins to sing, there's a bit of a jostle coming from the floor underneath you. As it's like a minor earthquake. Maybe 2 if you're lucky. Just enough to give you a little jolt, but not really make you run for the hills. Or if you're from California, not even wake up. But those of you who awaken and look outside can begin to see the sandstorm being pushed back in all directions as Valanche begins to make its descent.
Can Asha make her way towards the city center? She's been with the necklace this whole time, the chorus this whole time. She wants to at least be there for their final act.
Yeah. And when you make your way to the center of town where the crystal is stored, there are hundreds of people there, all outlined and illuminated in an orange golden light, as the voices of the chorus are booming from them. And as they sing, every now and again, one gets whipped up into the air, and then another, and then another, and another. Just streaks of light.
Asha's gonna stand there respectfully and just watch.
And as Valanche begins to lower closer and closer into the ground, more begin to whip into the air faster. And as the walking landmass that is Valanche begins to bury itself into the ground, settling in, the final people or the final entities of the chorus whip into the air. And almost instantly, the dome cracks and is pushed out in all directions to the sandstorm, driving it away. As this happens, the legs that were guiding Valanche come up again, and they form the walls around the town. The ground outside that was, for a brief moment, just a barren wasteland begins to slowly but surely change into a very fertile grassland. Locations to where Valanche's farmers can now begin to grow crops. And as all this happens and the sandstorm is driven away, there is just a singular thank you that passes by as the chorus grows silent. The crystal itself gleaming with life as you've witnessed the culmination of the ritual itself, as Valanche is now in its home. I don't have a map just yet for this, but I did mark it off up in the dust storm. Everything from like the red line down towards Augur has been driven back.
Oh snap.
Well, Kylus, we've definitely done the opposite of what your friend wants. Your friend.
Yeah. I use that term loosely.
Yes.
Rojan.
Yeah.
So, I still have that map of what did I write it as? I wrote it as, give me a sec here. A magical map of ancient powers.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in that same vicinity of where I was that I think you showed where the dust storm was?
While you're in the dust storm, you're not within a specific location where one of these towers was. Though something does catch your eye when you finally like open the upper floor windows of the brothel that you're staying in. You can see out into the distance about right here, just like what looks to be a massive black obsidian point of like what almost like could only be described as the like a base cornerstone of a pyramid, and it is gargantuan.
Like, are we talking like a city's worth? Like,
you can see it clearly from where you're at right now. Like, this isn't like something like you would need like a spyglass or anything. It sticks out like a sore thumb off in the distance as you can see the sunlight sort of like gleaming off of the just like the obsidian covering of this cornerstone.
Okay, well, in that case, okay, there. Well, I can. Do I have like a full view of like a 360 view where I'm at?
Like, you can move around to each windows and you can see, yeah, full 360.
Okay. Now, is there anything other than like besides this obsidian pyramid? Is there anything that is either northwestern? So,
you do notice that off to the east here.
Okay.
Like I'll mark it off for Fox when we do the update to the map, but over in this general area, you just see this like large rocky expanse of just this like almost gleaming red sunstone canyon.
Okay. Is it like a goldenish yellow, kind of like
it's
like a cheese color?
No, it's more of like a deeper red pigmentation.
So like a sunset? I'm just trying to visualize this.
A very vibrant sunset, yes.
Okay. All right. And what'd you say it was? Was it a gorge or a cliff?
It's just like these like from what you can see where you're at, they're like these just like the high spire rock formations that form just like this large canyon.
Okay, a canyon, gotcha. All right. All right, so we got
And then
pyramid, we've got
off in the west, right along the coast, you actually see the remnants of a city.
That's curious.
Okay. Anything particular, like something that stands out, or just a city?
Just a city. I mean, that in itself should stand out in the middle of what used to be just a giant sandstorm for as long as you've known, has covered a vast majority of this continent.
Is it an abandoned city or just like a city?
Can't tell from the distance that you're at, but you can make the remnants of a city.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we got a place to our west and we got places to our east, and there's nothing north, correct?
Doesn't look, nothing stands out to the north.
All right. Maybe a giant dune worm. Just kidding. So she's like, she's kind of split. She's like really excited. She's like, okay, I see new things. This is awesome. She's really excited about the obsidian pyramid, but she's also really excited about the city that's to the west near the ocean, and that's what she feels like really closer to the. So she's gonna leave. She's gonna try to find her companions. She's all excited like a freaking kid in a candy store, and she's like, whoever I can find first, whoever's closest to me.
I mean, I definitely got up after hearing the earthquake. So, because I'm thinking, oh, it's the creature. It bumped into us again.
So you see Karsha, and she's going like, hey, freaking town, city, ocean, awesome. We gotta go. It's cool. Also, giant pyramid, you can't miss it. And beautiful canyon.
There is a lot of things here that didn't even know exist, but a city? That's actually strange.
She's like, yeah.
Well, I certainly want to explore, that's for sure. Maybe we should see if everyone's good first before we leave. After all, we did technically get hired on as a guard here. But I'm very curious. Trust me, I kind of want to check it out myself. We should probably find the others.
Cool. First, coffee. She goes.
Well, I thought she drank coffee. That's why she's acting that way. Okay.
Oh, she needs Hollow to mellow the fuck out.
All right. Go slowly gather everyone else.
In the center of town, Asha, after all of that plays out around you, is there anything in particular you wanted to do?
She'll just say like a short prayer in both of thanks and a hoping for peace for all the souls that were there. And you know, she probably would walk up to the crystal one more time and just place her hand on it as she does that, and then head back to where her house was.
Okay. I think, like, as you're heading back, you kind of do see, like, a very hyperactive Karsha and a seemingly cut-off guard, Kylus, just talking in the middle of the street.
Something exciting going on? Is there some... Wait, Karsha's excited. Did something attack? Is there something attacking?
You would think. No. Scenery. actually. Points of interest, if you will. There's apparently a giant obsidian pyramid. There is a coastline. She did mention city, but she was not clear, so I think she maybe just meant this city, which, yes.
Excited, touchdown.
And a canyon. So lots of things to see. I'm still kind of getting over the fact that we can see.
Right.
I wonder how far it goes.
I mean, we can find a high vantage point and try and look out and see where we can see the storm left. Not sure how much got pushed back, but it seems like it worked.
Yeah.
Sure, Miles is busy trying to contact the Empress, but maybe I think I'll take a lap around the city just to make sure everything's okay before heading back to where everyone else is.
Yeah, that actually sounds good. Go ahead and I'll try to find the others in the meantime.
Asha's gonna take a lap just to make sure everything's okay before heading back to find the others.
Everything seems to be fine. There are a couple people already loading up a singular wagon with remnants of farm supplies and tools as they're getting ready to make their way out into the farmland that is protected by the walls.
Asha will stop by there and just give them a blessing of some sort, just kind of a typical traveler's blessing. And tell them not to hesitate to find her if anyone gets hurt or if they need assistance of healing while the healer's hall is down.
And they thank you, and they're just quick. They're just out of there.
Mm-hmm. Really tired of being cooped up.
And Karsha, not Karsha, but
yes,
Kylus, it doesn't take you too long to find everybody. As one by one you round everyone up as the chorus sort of has already faded away, the city is settled, and you've got the excited information from Karsha of what she's seen.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Seems as though, if you haven't noticed already, piece of the storm is gone. Seems to have revealed scenery.
Is that why we've been woken up so early?
That was us descending to the ground. We have officially planted ourselves. And there's a lot to see, apparently. That Karsha's very excited to perhaps check out. There's a city in here, apparently.
Yep, we're in it.
That's what I thought. Maybe she saw one? I don't know. She was just kind of rambling words. They weren't even sentences. But there is a canyon, a pyramid, and an ocean. I mean, we are
So
close to the edge. That makes sense.
I had to rephrase myself, and you just see her just like drinking some coffee from a little cup. Don't know how she got it, but she's drinking it. And she's like, "Sorry about that. I get a little excited in the morning, and I need my coffee." But first off, there's a ruined city to the west of us. There's an obsidian pyramid. It's really big and gargantuan. You can't miss it. And there is a beautiful, wonderful, I don't know, it's like a dark reddish, vibrant colors of a canyon to our east. And as she's saying this, even though she's now calmer, her tail is wagging like really crazy.
Karsha is now a dog.
Pretty much.
And as,
I mean,
as like Karsha's sitting there and describing this and talking to all of you, Kylas, you notice that mug. Somehow Karsha has gotten a hold of Milas's coffee mug.
What did we say about ransacking people's homes, Karsha?
What are you talking about? I'm just drinking coffee. Actually, I don't know how I got this anyway. She keeps sipping.
Where did you find it?
That is a good question. It just came in my hands. I just asked for coffee and I got it.
You asked for coffee and you got it?
Yeah, I was just thinking of coffee. I was like, man, I could go for a freaking cup of Joe, and all of a sudden it's in my hands. I'm not gonna question it. Why?
Okay.
What, is there something wrong with this cup?
Isn't that Milas's cup? He's drinking out of it yesterday.
That's a good question. Is it? Actually, yeah, it is. I have no clue. She's still drinking?
Huh.
I want chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake doesn't appear in... Chocolate cake does not appear in your hands.
Ooh.
Tokumi is visibly sad.
I want $20.
You mean 20 gold?
It doesn't appear because that currency does not exist.
What is dollars?
$20 hairs appear in your hand.
Yeah. Alright.
But a few moments pass and Milas walks by with like a visible look of confusion on his face.
Good morning.
So I don't know if we're haunted now, but I wanted to come down and see all of you after I was able to send a message out to, well, a quick message to the Empress. Apparently she is out right now, but I wanted to see how all of you were after the city had settled. I had just stepped out of my house when I just heard just something say coffee bump into me, and then I lost my mug.
Oh my god, it's a fucking gremlin.
You used to be haunted, but we fixed that.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I'm gonna have to look for another coffee mug, but that is the least of my concerns right now.
I have a question.
Is that
Can I do a sleight of hand to give him back his coffee mug without him knowing?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh god.
Tokumi calls him out during the process.
Where's my sleight of hand?
Does that give disadvantage?
No.
How quick is the shark?
Does an 18 work?
So as you say, is that your coffee mug right there? He sort of looks down as he's holding the mug. He's like, how did this get here? Oh,
Look, man, it's been a long couple of days.
He like holds it upside down and it's like bone dry. He's like, I guess I'm going to make some more. But got my mug back. He rolled a 2.
Yeah. He's like, holy moly, it's magic.
It was in my hand. That's like the people looking for the glasses when they're on their head. It was in my hand the whole time.
Hey, I don't need to be called out like that. Thank you.
Or you know,
Everyone
the where's my
the
phone?
coffee in his hand.
I fucking do that all the time where I'm like, what are you looking for? I can't find my fucking phone.
I don't know where it went.
As I'm telling the person on the phone, I can't find it.
I've gone on a 30-minute rampage tearing my house apart looking for my glasses when they were on my face.
Yeah. My favorite is when I hop into the shower and go, what's wet on my... What's happening? Why are these drops on my face? There were the glasses. I love the glasses on.
Magic.
Just saying, there's a logical explanation for how he forgot the mug was in his hand.
So what is the plan, then it seems like everyone's getting excited about farming. What should we do?
I'd like you to survey the outer perimeter of the city. See if you can't get a feel for where we are at. Mark any landmarks that you can see at the moment. Just try to get our feet, just our grounding set before we take any further steps outside.
Seems very reasonable. Didn't we have someone in the party that was doing cartography? Map making?
I don't think
Not
so.
like we did. Okay.
I mean, that's a good question. I wouldn't know. That's up to you guys to keep track of.
Wow.
Calligraphy, but not cartography.
Land vehicles, so not me.
I just thought someone before was marking up our map with things. I could be thinking of a different campaign
Not
altogether.
me.
It's entirely possible.
I could always try and learn it if we need somebody to do that.
Oh, I'm sure they'll send someone to map the area once they get supplies moving. Probably after they send the mage for the teleportation circle. For now, if we can ensure that there's no nests of anything nearby, I think that's a better use of our time.
We still have the horse and cart that we rode in on, right?
That we left outside the city.
Son of a God, we're idiots.
And then the city got up and started walking away.
Yeah, people are gonna stop giving us horses.
Look, they can survive on their own for a little while. We'll just go back and pick them up. It's fine.
Goodbye, horses.
We can at least return the cart.
Our faces are gonna be posted up in every stable across the land. Do not give these people horses.
Just all the temples. The temples will start refusing to give us shit.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, that's not super surprising considering we fucking threw one temple into a black hole.
They don't know that was us. Yet. You know, the first horse and cart was not our fault. The cable broke. They didn't maintain their cable properly. And it snapped when we were across the on the skyway, so
Yeah, this one though, this one is squarely on us.
Again, we couldn't have predicted that Augur was going to get up and walk away. Or that Blanche was going to get up and walk away.
That is true.
I think we could have, because that's kind of why we were there, was to get it back to that state.
Well,
We were
in that
there
moment.
to report on it and go back and be like an expedition crew. So...
I mean, nobody's pointing fingers right now.
Not yet. Look, we saved a city. That's not made us some grace. The quartermaster will have my hide.
This is fine.
Fine. Everything's fine.
Is it fine?
Not at all a problem.
To be on the safe side, Asha will use a cast of sending to let whoever she was supposed to report into about her expedition know that the Lanch has settled within the storm and pushed it back.
Okay.
However, they're in desperate need of supplies. However, they take that is up to them.
That is a very good part, or a very good question. How are they going to take that?
It is a nice part.
I mean, they have the opportunity to respawn. That's part of the spell. Just saying.
You don't get a response. You're not even sure if they received it.
That's interesting. Maybe they're sleeping.
Yeah, like we should be. It's 5 in the morning.
Good to wake up the sunrise sometimes.
I mean, if we're not setting out right away, I would really like to go back to bed.
I don't think we should really dally. We don't know what's out there, and it could become dangerous. There are farmers setting up for the farmlands. If they get too close to the edge, if something's pissed off, well, there's not many people here to start with. We don't need to dwindle the numbers even further.
Fine, I'll go get my stuff.
I mean, if you need a little extra time, at least like an extra hour, I don't mind getting some workout in.
Kylus, she talked back. She talked back.
I know, and I'm excited.
Oh. Did you hear that?
She should sleep. You should sleep. An extra hour.
I'm so proud.
We actually gotta go.
We had sass.
They grow up so fast.
Didn't she give sass though when she's like cut off my arm? Which, by the way, you need to change your picture of her in the dress. By the way, she has a weird arm.
I forgot to put the line on her arm where it was removed.
I mean, Zora, how long till we're changing the colors on my character?
Usually we do a time skip unless something drastic happens, which I've done before.
The whole outfit changed.
I don't change the color, God. That's actually not that hard.
I'm harassing you, that's all, it's fine. You got other shit you're working on.
It's actually not that hard to do, to be honest.
Somebody who runs, or not really runs, but jogs over to you. Middle-aged man, probably in his, like, early 30s. He's like,
that's middle age?
For D&D, yeah.
Oh,
for the setting we're in, yes. That's almost old. No, I feel like with magic we'd live longer.
I beg your pardon. I don't mean to interrupt you and your friends, but like, keep wanting calling him speaker, but he's the mayor now. Mayor Milas said that you and your friends were helping out in defending the town and investigating things for us. There's somebody outside the walls.
Do you have a description of them?
One of the children who are playing on the wall, up on the battlements of the wall, said there's a strange person, probably a good 30 feet outside of the walls itself. They're dressed, well, they said in brown. They've got a cape. Looks to have like a walking stick, and their face is completely covered. They've got like glass eyes.
Max is going.
Yeah, we're going.
Swords out.
We're gonna go take a look. Max.
I just put 2 and 2 together. Don't
let us run through the city with sharp sticks. There's kids around.
I'm not running.
Put them away.
Can I hold the back of Max's like collar, just to see if I can hold him in place?
Oh, I'm following after Max. I'm not holding still. I'm going to go take a look, but yell at him to put the swords away.
Maybe I can lift him up from the collar like a sad cat.
Don't run with the pointy sticks.
I'm not running yet.
Don't run with scissors.
Essentially what they are.
So I'll probably find a place where... Is there a place where we can scale up onto the wall to look over, or do we have to go out the gate?
Oh no, you could definitely scale up the wall if you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to pop up the wall to see what they look like.
Okay. You come up to the wall and you most definitely see just this individual covered in what looks to be like cracked brown leather head to toe. Leather armor, leather gloves, breeches, boots. They don't really have a cape, but it looks like they've got like some sort of like sun cloak that kind of draped over their shoulders. The stick that they were mentioned having looks just to be like a gnarled piece of petrified wood, probably used as a walking stick. But their face, their head is covered by like a metal, not a metal, but a leather mask with a pair of like glass goggles over the eyes.
So I should feel like it was like sandstorm preparation type clothing.
Best bet, it looks like a sandstorm suit.
Okay.
Something just to protect you from the elements.
Asha will probably climb down and then walk out the gates to go greet this gentleman. And probably when she's like 20 feet away, start talking and be like, "Hi there. We haven't disturbed you, have we?"
They kind of look at you and tilt their head.
Identify
What?
yourself.
Unfortunately, don't know any other languages. Could you care for a cup of tea? And she'll like pull out a little. She probably has travel tea. She'll pull out some tea and like offer
And
him
like
a cup.
as you like pull out the tea, they kind of like jump back a little bit defensively.
Yeah, and she'll just pour a cup of liquid and.
Oh yeah.
Seeing them defensive, she'll probably pour a second cup out of the same container and she'll drink it herself while offering the other cup to them.
What are the rest of you doing as this is happening?
I thought I was taking point on this.
Right next to her.
I'm just
Asha's
defensive.
being Asha.
I went back to the house to get my gear.
I'm just observing to see if I can tell what manner of creature or being this may be. If it's something different, of course.
They stop for a moment and they reach out and take the tea and examine it for a bit and dip their finger in the cup and sort of just like do this, like they're testing like the consistency of it. They kind of just like pour the tea out and hand the cup back to you.
Not a tea person, that's fine. What were you doing out here in the storm? You look like you're in the storm.
And again, they just kind of turn their head almost as if they're not understanding what you're saying.
Yes, I don't think they speak common.
Max is going to approach. He definitely still has his swords in hand. And he's going to speak to this guy in Giant, because I think that's the second most common language in this area. Identify yourself.
Oh, the mother tongue. Funny, you don't look like one of the giants.
Don't worry about it.
You're a descendant of our lords.
No, I just speak their words.
Interesting. What's of your companions?
Eyeless leans over to him. He's like, he's just repeating everything he's saying. He's actually quite a gentleman speaking to Max right now.
That's wonderful. Does he need... Max, ask him if he needs a place to stay.
The blue one in the armor, he speaks this language, but the rest of them not so much.
I speak fish.
Technically, Max, you knew he spoke giant because we spoke giant to the blacksmith guy together.
Well, yeah, but me, the player, didn't want to interrupt you, the player.
Oh. Oh, gotcha.
He's like,
Like, you genuinely didn't remember. You're like, oh, that's shocking. I'm like, no, you knew.
he looks over to this individual looks over to you. I have I have a way to maybe alleviate that problem, so you don't need to translate.
How about we start with introductions first? My name is Maximilian Grigory Antonov Konstantin Vodislavsky. And your name is...
Shifting Rocks.
Welcome to the city of Valanche, Shifting Rocks. These are my companions, Dasha, Kailis, Karsha. I don't think Toki's here with us.
Well, I see how it is, and I'm just Asha.
I'm sorry if I've caught you and your friends off of their guard. It was quite unsettling when the veil was stripped away.
Yeah, it's I hope this does not inconvenience you.
It does not inconvenience me in one bit. I tend to walk in and out of the veil myself, but I was not aware that those below us had the ability to repel the veil.
Neither did we.
We didn't know this was going to work, if I'm being 100% honest.
Ooh.
Come. And he's gonna... Whoop, his sword's away. Let us, go inside the walls. It is safe. We can stop by, my place. We can get you, I don't know, some coffee, or at least get some of the dust off of you.
What is coffee?
Oh, you're going to like it. Come. And, Max will introduce Shifting Rocks to everybody else.
Pleasure. I am Kailis.
And these are your other friends who do not speak the mother tongue.
They're from out of town.
Max is just like...
I was telling Maximilian here that I have an ability to make sure that I can understand what the others would say to me and what I say to them.
Oh, like a form of telepathy?
No. See, he like reaches into like a small satchel. And he pulls out like this like small round orb with like this blue gas in it.
Oh my gosh, does Google Translate?
He's like, this is a concoction that my people carry around in order to communicate with those outside of our own communes. That way, no unneeded hostilities arise.
Yeah, you don't want anything getting lost in translation, right?
It has prevented many blood wars.
So does it like activate? Like, do we see like an aura or some shit?
He hasn't really used it. He's just holding this, like, those of you who don't like speak giant just see him conversing with Max and with Kailis, and he's just holding this orb with like this very beautiful like blue gas inside of it.
Like talk to Asha, be like, hey, do you know what they're saying? Because all I can make out is shitting rocks.
I mean, it kind of sounds like they're gargling rocks to me, but you know, I think they're having a conversation, and Max put away his sword, so that must mean it's going well. You can be first to jump into the fray if need be.
All right, that's nice, pretty old. Looks great.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I wonder what it does.
One moment, please. He turns to the rest of the group. Yeah, no, he doesn't mean us any harm. Apparently there is a tribe of storm dwellers.
Oh, is that the... wonder if that's their city that we saw on the coast, then.
He turns back to Shifting Rocks. You come from that city over there? Or do you live in, like, the mountains or something?
You're muted.
You're muted.
He sits there for a moment and he's like, kind of like ponders your question. He's like, we do not call one place or another home. We wander the sands.
Excuse me? They're nomads.
We haven't disturbed one of the resting places, have we?
He turns back. We didn't mess up like any like sacred ground or anything of yours, right?
He shakes his head. No, this was open hunting land. Free for anyone to use.
Oh.
I will need to
what?
I will need to let the others know of this. Let them know that there is a people now here, so they aren't surprised when they come down here themselves.
Good
you mentioned
good call.
You mentioned another homestead.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like points off into the direction. The one by the water.
Yeah, that's the one.
That is not ours.
Oh, good. Does anybody currently live there, or?
We haven't necessarily explored it, but if you believe the tales of our elders, it is a cursed area.
Oh, good, great, fantastic, amazing. Because we haven't been dealing with enough of that lately. I don't know how well sarcasm translates in giant, but he's gonna.
The giants are very sarcastic.
He's gonna turn back to the rest of the group. Their people.
You see Kylus's face just like.
Their people believe that city over there. Number one, it's not their city, and number two, it is cursed as fuck.
Yeah,
we seem to have a specialized in that.
Yeah,
Ask them about
it's great.
The pyramid.
What'd they say about where we settled? Was it sacred ground?
No, it's not sacred ground. It's a hunting ground open for everybody. I think we'll.
If we destroyed hunting grounds, maybe they can make a trade agreement with Miles to support food.
Yeah, we should be fine. We'll talk with Miles and give them like a fruit basket or something and like open trade with them. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later.
Maybe Miles has a scroll of tongues so that we can speak with him, because having you translate constantly might be a.
Oh no, it's fine. I really don't mind.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to figure. He says he has a thing, but it's like a weird blue guess, and I don't know about that yet. So let me one sec.
As he's just like every time you're going back and forth, he's just sort of like motioning towards the bauble in his hand.
Karsh is gonna
He's like, no, don't use that. I want to be a translator. Shut up.
Real quick, do you know what the deal is with the pyramid over there?
So he kind of looks over. Oh.
The mountain glass pyramid.
Yeah, I know it very well. I was hoping it would not be exposed, but so it is.
Cool. I'm assuming more cursed shit.
Not cursed, just extremely dangerous.
Oh, okay. Well,
the King of the Vale lives there.
You hear Kylus in the background going like, of course. Shit.
well, alright. Well, I mean, at least it's just dangerous and not cursed. That's actually quite refreshing.
Many who enter into his domain probably wish they were cursed.
Oh, good. Great.
It is said to enter into the domain is to experience a very painful and drawn-out death.
Oh, good. Okay. Kylus, you can take care of that one. I think the other thing that I wanted to ask, since I know you said that this was a hunting ground for your people.
No, it's a hunting ground for all the peoples of the Vale.
We're going to put a pin in that for real quick. There was a really, really big monster that was smacking the city around when it was walking into place. You don't know anything about that?
Could be the Sand Demon.
He just kind of gives Kylus a look.
He's like,
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, of course. Mm-hmm. All right.
It is a pet of the Lord of the Vale.
Oh, good.
Long story short, city is cursed. Temple has Lord of the Vale. Bad guy.
Do they have sandworms from where you are from?
Not sandworms. We have mostly dirt sharks.
I do not know what a dirt shark is. Do they have dragons?
Oh yeah, with dragons. Yeah, we're familiar with dragons.
Think of if somebody took a sandworm and a dragon and mated them together into a horrific abomination.
Good.
That is what.
Great.
That is what the Demon of the Sands is.
Is this my Mass Effect butthole flying worm, but with wings?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
So this thing burrows and it flies?
It burrows, it flies. I don't know how well its capabilities are outside of the Veil, but it can mask itself inside the Veil.
Oh, good.
Again, almost certain death if you come across it, or that is the stories we have been told as children.
Okay. All right. And what do you call this creature?
The Demon of the Sands.
Demon of the Sands. Okay. All right.
This is translating all of this. Like, oh fuck.
I was gonna say we're over here playing rock parchment cheers.
I'm just seeing Max like doing these weird gestures like raw and doing this type of stuff, and I'm like, okay, I see what you're picking up, what you're paired down. Okay, what is he saying?
All right.
Yeah.
So how about this? Let's my house is just inside the gate. I will go get the leader of this city, and we will all discuss a few things. Does that sound okay with you? I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I know
he nods.
We should.
It is my responsibility to investigate. I saw what happened, and it would not be responsible for me to just ignore such a thing.
Cool. I don't know how many of those, like, orb things you have. Go ahead and hang on to this one until I bring the mayor over. That way, we get everybody in one shot.
He nods and he opens up the satchel and puts the sphere back into the pouch.
Cool. Sir, he's gonna turn back to the rest of the group. Sir Kylus.
Mhm.
Can you take our guest here to my house?
Yes. I have more questions.
Fantastic. Lady Asha, we need to go get the mayor.
I can call him if you'd like.
That would be wonderful.
We're sending again 2 miles. And be like, can you please meet us at Max's house? It's urgent.
Well, of course. I'll be right down.
He's on his way.
Great. Let's.
I'll swing by my house and grab the others.
I appreciate that greatly.
Mhm.
I'll go grab Sylvia, and if Tokami's around, I'll grab Tokami.
Tokami was. Well, she was out there with.
Oh, you were? Okay, sorry.
Okay.
So as all of this is happening, Kylus, as you're leading him, like from the sands and everything into the inner walls of the of Valanche, you clock his feet. You've seen feet like this before. They almost look avian.
Oh my god, they're ostriches! Alright.
That makes sense. An ostrich would pick a fight with a sandstorm and win.
Right? They're the birds of the desert. No,
Also
I'm sorry.
emus.
We were
I
talking
am
about
talking
sub
emus.
races. We were talking about sub races. The primary race is ostrich. One of the sub races I have mentioned before was Roadrunner. So this is the Roadrunner race because they live in the desert. Sylvia's a raven, clearly.
Let me go edit the PDF.
He will look to this person and be like, I don't mean to be rude, but I couldn't help notice some of your features. Are you I'm gonna butcher the fucking name. Are you a Hargraven by chance?
He kind of like looks at you a little surprised. Well, what you could tell surprised is his face is still covered. Why? Yes, my people are Hargraven.
Ah, that's fascinating. You're probably the 4th one I've ever met. They seem to be such a rarity in most parts. One of our companions is a Hargraven, and although now that I think about it, she never did mention if others were in. She's traveled with. It's complicated. That's fascinating. Is your whole nomadic tribe full of Hargravens, or are they a mix of different races?
My people are all Hargraven.
Okay, ostrich. We nailed it down. Okay.
Oh no, it could be a group of ravens.
Do you say ostrich?
You know what? Fuck it. He'll say it as a joke. It's like, ostrich.
He kind of shakes his head. No, not ostrich.
Something else then.
So kind of
You're so fucking awkward there, bud.
He like sits there and he sort of like searches for the word.
Emu race.
I don't know.
Close.
It's best. So he reaches out and he pulls the orb and he just squeezes it in front of your face. So, and like you just inhale this like blue liquid. Okay, now we can speak without any sort of language barrier. I don't know what the normal word, or not the normal, but the word for like your common tongue would be. But with this gas, it should just translate it to 1-to-1. Vulture.
Okay, first of all, fucking cool. Second of all, would I know what language he's speaking for it to translate?
It's translating it in perfect common to you.
Oh, okay. But he was speaking giant before, wasn't he? Oh, I was speaking giant back. So he was just being nice and changing it to common.
He couldn't find the word for it.
Ah, gotcha.
He's like,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Is there a word for vulture?
In giant or in his
Condor.
actual native language?
Condor.
No, that's a dude that works at a video store.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
I only know Trogdor.
Oh my god. Rojan, I never told you about Kaius' side project when I had a small goal for him to be, and this is just so perfect. He's like, fascinating. So it makes sense that you're accustomed and adapt to this desert, or at least harsh terrain. That's fascinating.
I do not know if that's why I am who I am. Most of us tend to survive because of our suits.
Do they help you breathe?
They help us
filter
breathe.
Air.
They help us breathe, and they help our flesh not be torn from our bodies if we are inside the veil. Exposed skin is usually the first to go if somebody were to walk inside.
That does make sense. Heard rumors of how harsh it can be.
As we are not in the storm, he reaches behind his head and he kind of pushes something. You can hear just what sounds to be almost like a pressurized seal release as the back opens up into two different parts, and he sort of takes off his helmet. His skin is just this soft grayish color with just flecks of just that the reddishness of you would normally see on a vulture.
Yes.
And soft white and black feathers, kind of almost forming sort of a crown around the side of his forehead, and kind of running back down the back of his neck.
He has a mullet.
He's just got this whitish, white and black, two-tone, just short mohawk going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Holy shit, you're gorgeous.
Oh no, he's hot.
I'm just letting you know that Karsh is behind you guys and just trying to listen to this conversation. She just saw you take some smoke up your nose like it's a drug, and then all of a sudden I'm just what the fuck? I'm she's trying to understand what you guys are saying, but all she sees is just body language. I'm okay, I think I get this. All right.
Wow, that is fascinating. Sorry, I don't mean to stare. It's just me and my order kind of take an interest in a lot of things, whether it's artifacts, unique races, the sort. So it's very fascinating. Those suits might come in handy for me and my group if we are to explore around here. How would we procure such fascinating things?
There is one in my group that tends to create these suits for us. Sort of the first time we go into the storm, we need our protection, so they gather the materials, they kill the animals that need to be killed, they sew what needs to be sewed, and sooner or later we have these protective suits that we wear.
Do you need a particular animal? Or it's just part of the process?
Thicker the hide, the better. Most of the time, most of the time the leather itself is either taken from that of a sand dragon or of a sandworm. Something that calls the veil home and has a natural resistance against it.
You keep saying veil, you mean the storm itself or a particular place?
As he kind of points out to the sandstorm, he's like, we know it as the veil.
All right, interesting. Well, of course, you living in here, it would require certain adaptations like suits and whatnot.
We technically don't live here. We roam and explore. The Vale itself is home to numerous ancient ruins and homesteads that just are a how do you say, a cavalcade of useful goods.
Interesting. A lot of cursed places, a lot of large beasts. You've mentioned a lot of very interesting topics earlier too, Max. Lot of places like that in here that are extremely dangerous.
Oh, the Vale itself is almost certain death for those who are unprepared.
Yes.
train our adolescent lives to be able to enter into here. And we never enter alone until we've proven ourselves that we can manage, and then we become more respective amongst the group. We are trusted with larger tasks, more dangerous tasks. I was on my way to explore one of the ruins to dispatch of an individual that has been causing our people quite some pain for a while. I don't know why I say this. The gas itself will translate. A hag.
Hey, we got our first hag for the campaign. A hag. What has this hag been doing to cause issues?
Stealing water, mostly.
I don't even need an explanation. I can understand that clearly in a place like this, why that is precious and unfortunate. Which ruins does this hag reside? The ones that saw over by the coast or somewhere else?
He shakes his head. He's like, as he points back towards the canyons.
Well, there goes my follow-up question. Interesting. Max actually might be excited about that. This is a weird question, more of a personal question. Actually, I have two. Any places around here that have unique looking gems or rocks, aside from the canyon, of course, but any unique looking sediments?
There is the glistening depths.
Oh, tell me more, please.
It's located near the canyons. It is a vast, and I mean vast, cave network full of precious gemstones and metals.
I personally am not one to use them for value, but are they used for anything in particular? As for mining purposes, or are they just...
We've discovered that they have a series of practical uses. Weaponry, armor, jewelry, magic.
Interesting.
There are even if you go deep enough, there's even a network of caves that we have mapped out that is nothing but rows and rows and rows of coalesced mana crystals.
Interesting. I don't suppose there's any way you would be willing to share some of this information. I kind of,
if you are,
have this hobby of collecting such items just to have.
It would be irresponsible of me not to share it, just in case the city wishes to stay away from such a thing. Any information, well, they don't get lost, they don't get killed, or they just don't want anything to do with it.
That's fair. We tend to use such crystals in certain things in our society, not always. They're very...
As he reaches into his bag and he pulls out another one of those orbs. This one is just like this bright green, as do we. The mist inside these orbs are actually a very finely granulated coalesced mana crystal.
Fascinating. That would actually be very useful in a lot of different ways. Interesting. I'm trying to look for the thing. Where is it? Well, I'm sure the new city. By the way, we realized we didn't properly introduce this. This is known as Valanche. It's gonna be its new home now. It's the city's name.
I see Augur City is keeping with the rock theme.
I suppose so. I just work here. So, yeah.
Honestly, Valanche is a wonderfully sounding city. At least it doesn't sound like it's a clump of dirt.
Yes, that is actually very true. One last thing is, this is also kind of an awkward question to ask. What is it? You wouldn't happen to have unique creatures in here, birds of prey, if you will. Some even similar to the race you described, like condors, vultures, raptors of sorts.
If you are asking if we have carrion birds, yes, there are carrion birds that seemingly have developed their own immunities to the veil.
Oh, fascinating. Right. Well, I'll have to keep an eye out then, I suppose.
And as like you get to this point of the conversation, you're back into Max's house, and Milas is already sitting there. Milas is kind of like looks a little surprised, like, we seem to have already met our first friend.
Yes. I don't suppose you speak giant, do you?
No.
No. Well, our friend here is a nomad to explore the lands, and actually has a very unique orb to help translate, so we can all understand each other.
And as he sees that everybody's in the room, he kind of moves you back a little bit, Kylas, and he pulls out another blue orb and he squeezes it into like the room just for everybody to breathe in.
Everyone take a big ol' puff.
There. Now we should be able to all speak without a language barrier.
That is very handy.
I can hear finally.
For those who did not catch my name before, I am Shifting Rocks, though my friends call me Rocky.
Okay, I knew I heard rocks in the name.
Hopefully one day we can find ourselves on in the group of friends that can call you Rocky.
I would much rather prefer you call me Rocky. Less of a mouthful.
Very well. Well, Rocky, and Milas, I do believe Rocky here told us outside that we have settled upon some of their hunting grounds. for their group.
Not necessarily our hunting grounds. We do hunt here from time to time. It's more the hunting grounds of more of the more dominant species in the Vale. One of which you seemingly had an encounter with, the Demon of the Sands.
I don't suppose they're amenable to some sort of trade agreement or something like that in replacement for the food that they lost here, or are they more of the...
I don't think anybody has ever tried to talk to the demon. It tends to end in people being swallowed whole.
If they try to talk to him, or just in general?
Existing in the general vicinity of the demon is usually a bad idea.
I usually find it good to at least attempt a conversation first.
So he kind of like looks over to both Max and Kylus. Right, you weren't privy to the previous conversation. The Demon of the Sands is that flying thing that was sort of ramming into your barrier as you were making your way through the sandstorm. It's something that if you would take a large sand dragon and a sandworm and you would combine it together.
Is it... I mean, if it holds the intelligence of a dragon, a lot of times you can have a conversation with them, or so I've read.
I have never heard of anybody having a decent or successful conversation with the creature. It tends to eat en masse and then sleep.
Good to know.
Go talk to it, Ash. Just see what happens.
I mean, we did recently talk to a basilisk, so...
That is true. Anything is possible.
We can't cross it off the
Artist,
list.
thank you. An artist, not a basilisk, an artist.
An asshole.
An artist who happens to be a basilisk.
Hey, artists
And
can
an
be
asshole.
assholes.
Most of them
Most
are.
are.
Just kidding.
Wow.
We
Yes,
love you,
I
Zoro.
Yes, I am. Hey, so is Fox.
I won't deny it.
We were never expecting him to.
Fox is just like, yes, we are.
We see his face every time we call his race an ostrich.
He knows I do it just
Slowly
to poke
but
at him.
surely plotting all of your deaths in the Sonata campaign.
Yes.
Look, my backup character for this, I have decided, is a Harkraven, so, you know, it's gonna be fun.
While this conversation is going on, Sylvia, you're in the room, correct?
Yeah, somebody came to retrieve me.
Asha got you.
When I went back,
Off to do.
all geared up and saw no one was there, I just went back to the house and went back to sleep, so I would have been found there.
Yeah, Asha went to find you after calling for Miles.
You know,
It's like-
valid.
Oh yeah, he has his mask off right now.
Yeah,
That's true.
he has his mask off, and you
Yeah.
can clearly see the bird legs.
It is a bird.
Though it is like the size difference is night and day. It's like he just towers over Sylvia.
How tall? Or actually,
I
put it
didn't
this way.
really
Short
I didn't really
Sylvia.
explain that. He's about 7 feet tall.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ! Oh, he's only a little taller than me.
Only slightly.
Okay, quite a bit. He's like 6'2", 6'3", so he's Kylus is pretty tall. But still, damn.
I mean, Asha's not
It
short
could have
either.
been an ostrich then. I'm not crazy.
Look, he's only
I think Sylvia can take him.
just over a foot taller than Asha. Sylvia's the tiny person of this group.
She is the tiny
Yeah,
person.
Sylvia's short. You are, yeah.
So she's pretty much used to us all towering over her.
He kind of like tilts his head as he notices Sylvia in the room. This is your Hograven's friend you were speaking of.
It is, yes. This is our wonderful friend Sylvia.
He kind of just like nods his head in a small bow.
And she nods back. I didn't know that there was people out this way, let alone Hargraven.
Oh, there are numerous people inside the Vale. Argravens, giants. other strange individuals that I don't know how to describe. And then a series of monstrosities that you would do well just to avoid.
Maybe have some of those outside this area as well.
Yes, that is also an apt description for the city. From my perspective, anyway.
I can see how you get there. Can't deny that.
These are hunting grounds.
So these are hunting grounds of that beast you're describing.
No, the beast and anybody passing through. This place is normally teeming with life. You just have to know how to look for it, though the veil suddenly vanishing has probably put a lot of them into hiding. And they should be back in a while. Nightfall comes and should be teeming with life once again outside.
Your people, they wouldn't happen to be looking for a place to settle down, would they?
We've tried settling down before. Those that I travel with all seemingly have a bit of a curse of wanderlust that has been cast upon us. We can't necessarily stay in one place for too long. It starts getting very uncomfortable.
This is pretty typical for Hargraven.
Well, if you're traveling through this area or any of your group is, you guys are always welcome to step in for a bit. Right now the city is pretty sparse, but there'll be more coming.
It's fucking boring. I'll be honest with you.
Well,
There's
our traders,
not much to do here.
Our traders and our artisans will definitely wish to begin making a relationship with the people here.
I can't speak for everyone. Miles is really the mayor here, but I'm sure it would be a welcome, especially as the first days of settling.
Because this place is boring. Very fucking boring.
Max, you're not helping.
I am absolutely helping. Like this city needs them.
Can I kick Max underneath the table in the shin? Just kidding.
He's like, well, Max, if you are bored, I am currently on a hunt and could use some help.
Yep. Normally I'd be all there, but we're kind of already hired to do a thing here.
Oh,
So,
wait, is that
like-
the one with the hag you were telling me about?
Oh yes, the hag.
Well, there's a hag nearby.
Over in
near
the
the cavern
canyons.
area.
Miles,
Okay.
it is imperative for the safety of the city that we go out and fight this hag.
As Miles nods, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yes.
If
I would
it
say that is a
helps-
true statement.
If it helps, hag or no, apparently she's been siphoning or stealing water, which I feel like is pretty darn important just looking around. So, regardless, bad situation, for sure.
That sounds like something that's on the top of the list that needs to be taken care of. Rocky, in this general vicinity, like nearby where we settled, is there anything that we should be too concerned about for creatures? Anything that's going to come out to attack?
The only thing I would say that may be an issue would be the demon, though I don't think it's going to want to step foot outside of the veil. So as long as your people remain on the other side of the veil, you should be fine. I mean, there are a couple worms and whatnot that pass through, and you may come across the smaller variety of sand dragons and other creatures that call the storm home, but it's no different than hunting dangerous game down to the south.
Does the
Yeah,
devil
that's
loose
fair.
in the sands?
The demon of the sands. It's the large flying entity that Kayla said that you encountered that was slamming into your protective barrier while your city was moving through the sandstorm or through the veil.
Oh,
It's a sand dragon combined with a sandworm, and so it's just an amalgamation of horror.
Do you feel bad displacing so many beings from their home just to settle ours? But
it's no different than any other place taking settlements. The wildlife will adapt.
But this hag, yeah, it sounds like it's pretty close from my understanding of where everyone said they spotted that canyon.
It's a bit of a trek, but I can wholeheartedly say that taking care of this hag will be for the betterment of this city. Lest you start drying up your wells. And with that is where we are going to end for tonight, as I just noticed what time it was.
Damn it! I want to go home tag.
Questions for the bird.
Well,
Silas may have gotten a pep in his step.
You're going to have to wait until next week to have your questions for Vulture Boy.
Max, take note. Find a Hargraven hooker for Kyla's
That'll be his
next.
question. Are you single?
Whoa! Look, this
Yeah,
this
all
may
you
get
gotta
awkward.
do is go find
Damn.
Callie's brother.
Yeah.
True.
Look, there's.
You might want to
I
try
have plans. I have plans, and this is just gonna make it super awkward.
So Karsha owns the brothel, but Max helps find oh god, this is that side quest from Fallout New Vegas.
Yep.
All right, so I need to find a robot.
You need to find a robot. You need to find Fisto. You need to find a robot, and you need to find a zombie.
It's like a start to a
No,
bad joke.
no, none of that. I
Right.
want good, honest people. Because honesty is like a two-way road.
Man, people
Don't fuck with
into,
me.
People were into the robot and the ghoul.
Yeah.
Like that was
Okay, smooth skin.
Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. This is your first time here. This is not the only show that we do. Coming up tomorrow is going to be another episode of Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game run by Tiltbot. Meat on Thursday would normally this week be Mass Effect Horizons, but unfortunately real life has decided that it has to be a pain in the ass once again, so there will be no Mass Effect show this week, but it is on alternating Thursdays. Next week on Thursday will be Tricorn Isles, which is a 5th edition game that I run. Coming up this Saturday is going to be another episode of Withered Wastes, which is another 5th edition game that I run. And then later on that night is going to be another episode of Vigilant 6, which is going to be being played with a brand new system that I am throwing together to give it a little bit more pizzazz. It's going to be more mouse guard / blades in the dark style combat. So I am looking forward to that.
Oh man.
Wait, who said "oh man"?
Hey,
Spiffy.
I want to play that fucking game. The freaking game sounds awesome.
Can you make
It
it
is awesome.
Saturdays at 8:00?
Yeah.
Then
Talk after the show.
I played. That was the
If
fucking
that's the
wizard
case-
game was at the same time slot.
if that's the case, if you could play Saturdays at 8:00, get your ass in there.
Come up with a superhero.
Yep. I'll work with you on a
Laser based.
superhero.
He shoots lasers out of his face. Done. Let's go.
Okay, Cyclops.
Yeah, no.
I respect
Like
that.
ask Cass. I was like just waiting for it, man.
And then we'll come back here on Monday for another episode of Destiny Forged. But for now, we are going to head on off. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you tomorrow for Star Wars.
I'm waving.
Door.
Bye.